According to Treb, this April was the worst non-pandemic April that we've seen in 30 years in terms of sales. They're also saying that this is definitely confirmed a buyer's market right now. There are more listings, lower prices, and greater affordability throughout the GTA. There is a market rebound possible, as per Treb, if they bring the borrowing costs down and if we can figure out this tariff situation and the trade war tensions. But this is your midweek market update. It's May 7th, and I'm going to quickly shoot through the update with you guys, and then I'm going to tell you guys a little bit about the meeting between Mark Carney and Trump yesterday, and then how I think that this might or might not affect the market. Basically, in terms of inventory, we are still going up, and in terms of inventory week over week, we're up 2.3%, which is about 640 units. So we are still seeing increased inventory, but the pace of it is starting to slow down, while continuing to stay lower. I mean, there were some weeks where we were seeing, 4, 5, 6% week over week increases, 12, 1,400 units coming to the market. So seeing 640 units, not the best scenario, but at least we can kind of say, hey, for the last 2 weeks, it's kind of been at a lower level. So hopefully we can kind of see that continue and possibly even drop off even more than that. But if we're still looking at it today versus last year on this day, we still have 49% more inventory, which is about 9,500 units more on the market for sale right now than we did last year, which is a big number. Again, picking on Halton this whole year, I think, but they actually have 75% more inventory than they did last year. And it's reflected in their sales too. So let's talk about sales. So overall, year to date, we're still down 25%. It's the same story I've been telling you guys. So what does that mean? It's down about 6,130 sales compared to where we were last year at this exact very time. Interesting thing to note here is that Toronto freehold is only down less than 10%, so 9.7%, and it's 349 units. So, this is what they usually say is that the pricing kind of goes from the court and it moves its way out. And I think that's what we're kind of seeing reflected with the Toronto freehold. So that's the least affected. It's affected, 10 points still down in terms of sales, but it's the least affected market. So that still kind of holds true. And what I was going to tell you guys about Halton is actually down about 34% compared to last year in terms of sales of freehold, and 40% down in terms of condo sales. So Halton is the one that's taking the biggest hit here right now. In terms of price, when we look at it at the 52-week high and compared to last week, and then when we look at it week over week, the numbers seem like they're okay. And this is what I mean. So, we're down about 1.4% or about $15,000 on average selling price across the GTA compared to our 52-week high. When I would look at it week over week, we're up about 0.6%, which is about $7,000 on average price. But the Treb stat basically tells us that April 2024 versus 2025, we were down about 4.1% compared to that April. So overall, when we look at it year over year, yeah, the prices are coming down, and that's what's still creating that buyer's market that I talked about earlier. So more inventory and ability to negotiate the prices right now and have all your conditions put into it, and buyers are really kind of taking advantage of that right now. Not as many as we'd like, but they are definitely taking advantage of it. And now quickly, just to kind of recap on the meeting that happened yesterday between Mark Carney and Trump. Obviously, Mark Carney went down there to try to see if there was some way to calm down the tariff tensions, the trade war tensions with Trump. And basically, Trump is, told him it is what it is, and it's not going to happen. And they basically said about the Canada, United States, Mexico agreement. It's a good deal, Trump says, for everybody, and they could revise it or terminate it completely within the next year. And I think that's kind of one of the factors that's holding back our market. Our market was in trouble before this whole trade war started anyways. So, but that is one of the bigger stumbling blocks. I feel like some of the stuff that was affecting our market prior to this, it was kind of getting resolved, and it was resolved to a certain point. And I think that if we didn't have this uncertainty about the trade war and the tariffs, I think that maybe our market would be in a little bit of a better situation. I don't think it would be completely hands down 100% better, but it would be a little bit better, and we wouldn't be dealing with this, because this is the biggest thing that's affecting people right now. So there are places obviously in Ontario that's going to get affected by this, right? And it already has been affected. So when you're looking at steel, aluminum, auto manufacturing, auto parts manufacturing, these are the areas that are going to hit the most. Like we're talking about Windsor, Cambridge, Guelph, these heavy auto manufacturing areas in Ontario, they are definitely going to get hit hard. And it's already starting. And when you hear the tone that Trump actually has, basically keeps citing that we have a $200 billion trade deficit with the US, which you could easily do a Google search and find out it's not the truth. It's just what he's saying, and for whatever reason, he continues to say it, just like he wants to make Canada the 51st state. But these are just the things that we can actually change. Our trade deficit is not that big compared a $200 billion one with the US. It is big, but it's not that big. And we also have to take into account that the US population is 8 to 10 times bigger than what Canada is. So how much stuff can we possibly buy from them? But that's something that's kind of holding our market back. I just actually hope that since we have this chosen leader, Mark Carney, and how he's an international dude, that he's going to be able to leverage these connections and start to find new countries that we could actually do trades with, which I think from what I can research and look online, that they are in the works of kind of doing, and maybe even breaking down the barriers interprovincially is going to help a little bit. I don't think it's going to be a huge help, but at least it will help the goods flow better, at least within our own country. That's something I think we should have addressed a while ago. There are a lot of countries that are interested in our goods that will probably still take some time to get going. Just like Trump was saying yesterday with the meeting with Carney that, hey, we don't need your auto, we don't need your metal. As we talk right now, we have metal manufacturing plants being built, and that could be the case. And in the long run, maybe that play will work out better for the U.S. But in the short term, it's not a short-term solution for them. So they're going to have to kind of do some kind of business with Canada. It just depends on how it's going to kind of shape up. And the last note I'll make over here is this, and I think I mentioned this last time, is that everyone thinks that when the rate comes down a quarter point, that all of a sudden we're going to see more activity in the market. I just don't think we're in that situation right now. Right now, we have an overnight lending rate at 2.75%. If it goes down to 2.5%, drops a quarter point, I don't think that's really going to do anything. Even a half a point is not really going to do anything. I think the lack of confidence in the market right now is a way bigger play, and I don't blame people for it. It's like making huge purchase investments, and especially if you're going to be around any of those manufacturing sectors that are going to be affected, I would definitely think twice before I make a huge purchase like purchasing a home. Hopefully, you guys get some value out of this weekly update. Again, I'd love to know what your thoughts are on where you guys think it's going. We really haven't seen a spring market at all. Do you think that's still coming? Let me know what you guys think. Have a good one.